EduThrive. So EduThrive is a company that is established to help meet all your study abroad dream. We do not only recruit students to Canadian schools, we recruit students to UK and any other country that you may be interested in. So our office address will be put in the chat section if you do not already know about us. Our office is at Okpebi in Lagos. So we will be available to help you with any of your any country you want to go to, whether it's the US, Malaysia, Turkey, anywhere, France, we will help you with that. So let's get to the business of today. How to apply for Canada study permit. That is why we are here. So why is this topic important? This topic is very important because a lot of Nigerians are seeking to enter Canada through the school route. But unfortunately, the approval rate for study permit is quite low. What that means is that if 10 people submit application, 7 of them are likely to get a refusal. And because this refusal rate is high, it has been a major discouragement to people. So people don't want to try Canada. They will just say, oh, please, let me just go to another country where it's going to be easier for me. And one of the reasons why a lot of people, decide that, okay, UK is it, because their main dream is to come into Canada, but because this refusal rate for study permit application is high, people now decide to say, okay, since UK seems to be easier to go to, let's go to the UK. So my objective today is to show you how exactly you are supposed to help yourself to increase your chances of getting your study permit approved. You don't want to join the statistics of those people whose permits will be refused. So a few terminologies that we need to check here. There is what we call the temporary resident visa. So temporary resident visa is the type of visa that you use to go into Canada temporarily. So this can be in form of a visiting visa or a study visa. So your visa is what is stamped on your passport. So when you submit your application, they would ask for when you have been approved, they will ask for your passport, and then they will stamp a visa there. The visa is a travel document. It is what you will show at the airport before they will allow you to board, check you in to board the flight. And then that is what admits you. So at the port of entry, they want to see that visa on your passport that you have been authorized to come into the country. So the study permit itself is not a travel document. It's not a visa. It is a sheet of paper that you will be given at the port of entry. That is what allows you to be able to come in and go to school. So the school you want to be enrolled in is going to ask for that paper. They want to see that sheet of paper. They are not really kind of interested so much in the stamp on your passport, because that's just a travel document. But what you need to use for your enrollment in school is the study permit. On the study permit is what you will see the terms of your study, whether you can work. And I mean, all students in Canada are allowed to work, but it's stated there, you cannot do this type of job, you can do this type of job. So that's the study permit. Then the co-op work permit is for students whose program have a co-op element in it. So co-op is like the usual term we use in Nigeria is IT. So it's part of your course, but you will be doing it in a workplace. So if your program has a co-op element to it, they will also issue you a co-op work permit. This also will be given to you at the port of entry. Then the open work permit is what your spouse or your dependents that wants to work will collect. So if you, the husband, is a student, your wife, that's your dependent, and if you have a child that is like maybe above 18 that wants to work, they will be issued open work permit. Okay, so please, if you have questions, you should start to drop your questions so that I will take them as I go on. Although we'll still have time for question and answer, but I mean, let's just make it as fast as possible so you can drop your questions. So I need to show you this, that for Canada, Nigeria is the third largest country that gives Canada international students. So we have India, we have, you can see India, you can see China, and then you can see Nigeria. But the rate at which our visa, our study permit approval is issued is not as encouraging as that of those other countries. So if you look at China, you will see that the approval and the people that apply and the people that get approved is quite close. But for Nigeria, it's not like that. Look at for Korea, it's like almost everybody that applies will get it. But for Nigeria, it's not so. So that means if we are not being approved, we probably are not doing some things right. Some people can come up with other theories and say, oh, they are racist or they are this. I mean, whatever it is. The truth is, if we do our applications better, then we are going to have better results. So how do you put together a solid application? You see, as an immigration consultant, I get to speak with people daily, and I don't take all clients. So if somebody says, oh, my sister said I should call you, I want to come to Canada through school. Once I ask them a couple of questions, depending on how they answer, I just will know that, well, this one, I don't want to waste my energy with this one because it's not likely to be successful, you know? So based on the person's profile and what they have and what they don't have. So the truth is that Canada wants people, but Canada, they are very selective about the kind of people they want. They are careful to bring in people that will come and burden their system financially. So they need people that are high-skilled individuals, and they want people that are financially established. That's the truth. Even though they're not going to spell it out to you, they're going to tell you, oh, we have 1 million, you know, so many ways of coming in and all of that, which is true. But the truth is that the system is selective. So you are not just, you know, going to saunter into Canada and say, oh, I want to come to Canada. I mean, so it's not going to happen. Now, how do you help yourself so that you present a very strong application? Your journey to success, it starts from the course of choice. If you want to come in through the school route, you need to make sure that you are choosing a course that makes sense. And what I mean is that your course of study should align with your career path or what you studied in school. It should fit in very well into your life. There should be a story that even if you tell somebody that, oh, this is a course I want to study, they are not going to say, why? So if the course you want to call to that, this is what I want to study. If you tell somebody and the person goes like, why do you want to study that course? Then you should ask yourself, have I really chosen a good course? So you wouldn't have studied literature as your first degree. You studied literature in English, and then you just come and you say, I heard that nursing is selling. I want to be a nurse. I mean, like, from where to where? Where is the correlation? So you can jump from your literature in English to nursing if there is a story in that gap. So you probably have done some prior programs in the health space. You are doing some work in that space, that ties you into the medical field. Otherwise, just out of the blues, just saying that I hear that this course is selling, then that's what I want to do. It's not going to cut it. So your choice of course must make sense. You also need to be able to show that you have economic ties to your home country. And how do you show economic ties? It means that you have a job. You have a job. You are not loafing. So if we look at your resume, there should be something that you are doing. You have a career. Now, a fresh graduate may not have a job, but that's understandably because this guy just finished service like a year or 2 years ago. Even 2 years ago, the guy should still be able to say, I've been doing this. So your economic ties, you can prove that also by your assets, what you have back home in terms of what can be generating money for you. Let's say you work with the government and you are able to get a study leave, that they know that after your studies in Canada, your job is waiting for you. Most civil service jobs are like that. That is a very strong case for you because the visa officer is going to interpret it that, okay, if Canada does not pay this person has something to go back to at home. So if your life is such that there is nothing working for you in Nigeria, and unfortunately, a lot of people that will just say, oh, I just want to japa, it's because there is nothing, nothing at all working for them in Nigeria. Then you will have this hurdle to cross. How do you show your economic ties back home? That's important. The next thing is your family ties. Your family ties, do you have spouse? Do you have children? Do you have parents? Do you have, maybe siblings? I mean, those are family members that potentially could draw you back home. So your ties. Now, if you are a student and you're married, study permit is a temporary visa. It's not a permanent visa because Canada has different options by which you can do permanent residency. So don't now use this study permit and just say, I cannot leave my family. I cannot leave my children. Everybody, we must go at once. Beautiful. You must go all at once. If you are packing everybody on that your visa application, then you still need to be able to show your family ties back to Nigeria. Because if the ties, the people that are supposed to be ties back home are already coming with you, how do you show ties back home? So, you know, it's just a trade-off. So that's why sometimes some people will choose not to pack all their immediate family member on their application and just say, okay, let me just do this application as a student alone for now, and then I can bring my family as add-ons later. But there is no law that says that you cannot put all your family, your spouse and your children on your application in a study permit. There is no law that says that. So we do those kind of applications as well, but you just have to weigh it. Should I use my spouse and children to show family ties, or I want to have other things to use as family ties? So that's important. The other thing is that you need to show that you will return back to your country. So you are not going to say, oh, I'm coming to study computer science in Canada, so that once I finish my study, I can now get a job, then I can now start to contribute to Canadian economy. When we ask you to write your study statement of purpose, that's not what you're going to write. You want to show that there is, you plan on going back home. And it's just simple. It's because this is a temporary visa. You are not applying for permanent residency. So you can now not be telling the visa officer that your plan is to sit down in Canada. However, Canada has that provision by which after you have finished your study, you can now say, okay, I want to work, and you apply for your post-graduation work permit, which you will be given, all things being equal. And then you can stay back and work. But as per how you submit this study permit application is that you will show that you plan to return home. Then apply early. Visa processing time from Nigeria now, I mean, the last I checked, it's about 5 months. So it can be shorter. Sometimes we do applications and in 2 months it's out, but you don't want to bank on that. You just want to give yourself time. So if you are to resume in September, you want to make sure that by April, you have put in your application, latest May, so that you will not, you'll not be anxious and be stressing. Yeah, so you do it early. And lastly, I will beg, make sure you do not use fake documents. All, you know, Nigerians, we are funny. Bloggers and all these wannabe influencers that once they have reached UK or they've reached Canada, they feel that they have become authorities in advising other people on how to do it. They go on social media and start to run their mouths and start to tell you, you should go and get proof of funds, you should go and doctor your document like this, you should go and package, you know. People will call and say, what is your package? I want to travel. What package do you have? And I'm quick to say, sorry, I don't do package. You know, that term package, it connotes fraud, you know, because you are packaging, you're packaging something that is not true or that is not real and making it to look like what it is. So if somebody is going to package you, just a word of caution. If Canada catches you with fake documents or what is called misrepresentation, so you lied about something. Oh, they ask you, have you been denied visa to the US before? You say no. Meanwhile, they can see it that you were denied 2 times. If you are caught, it's a 5-year ban, 5 good years. You will not near Canada. You will not be able to submit any application because you have a ban. And God help you after that 5 years, if they will still consider you, because you have been flagged as a liar. So be careful who you go to say, please package me. And then they help you, you know, and you cannot say, oh, I didn't know. It was the agent that did it for me. All of those stories will not fly, because once you have been banned, it's your ban. It's not that agent's ban. Okay. What are the documents you need? Of course, you need your passport, international passport. Make sure that it has enough validity. Nigeria now can allow you to renew your passport even if it has up to 1 year 1 year validity on it. So it pays you to come with a passport that, you know, that is still fresh for your visa application. You also need to have been accepted by a university or a college, a DLI institution. And DLI institution just means schools that the government has approved that international students can attend. So because there are some schools here that are just for the locals, that means that it's not open to international students. So DLIs are the ones that are open to international students. Also be careful that the DLI you have chosen and the program you have chosen are eligible for post-graduation work permits, because there are some programs or there are some DLI schools that when you are finished from the school, you cannot apply for post-graduation work permit. What that means is that after you finish, you are supposed to say bye-bye, you go back to your country. Or you will look for an employer that is able to sponsor you. Normally for students in Canada, you don't need to be looking for any employer to sponsor you. Once you graduate, you just submit your post-graduation work permit and then you get it. But if you go to those schools where it's just DLI, no post-graduation work permit, then you will be in some trouble. What some people will do after that is now to look for another school and then enroll again so that they can eventually get this post-graduation work permit. So when you are in Nigeria and you are just dealing with some kind of people that they'll say, oh, this school is very cheap, oh, it's very affordable, oh, you can just get into Canada, and you know, you don't really do your own due diligence, you may fall into this kind of situation. Okay, you need funds. You really need funds. I hear people will say that they got offered an admission and they didn't pay any tuition, they didn't pay tuition, and they submit their study permit application and they got approved. You see, that is not a common situation. And if that's going to be the case, you do not know what kind of financial proofs they provided. So if your friend did it, you know, I will hear people will say, my cousin did it. My cousin did not pay any money. My cousin did not pay any money and then she got it. Okay, good. Because it's a case-by-case decision. And I do not know what documents your cousin provided. But the truth is that the visa officer is out to check for your financial capability. And one way you can show that is by making financial commitment in terms of tuition payment. So even if the school is not saying pay us the tuition or maybe a semester, the school, some schools will just say pay $500 acceptance fee, $500. So if all you have done is you paid $500, that's your financial commitment. You now went to submit your visa application. And in your bank, in your bank account, we can't see money there. how is it that this visa officer is going to be convinced that you have enough money to pay your tuition and to support yourself in terms of living expense? So as long as it cannot see how you want to be able to fund yourself, then it can deny you this visa and say because you lack financial capacity. So to show financial capacity, try as much as possible to at least pay one semester tuition. So if you are doing a 2-semester program and you pay one semester tuition, I mean, like you're almost halfway done. You have shown commitment. You have shown that you are serious. You are coming to school. That will speak on your behalf. Now, a lot of people will say, I have a sponsor. Who is your sponsor? Then they will say my uncle or the company I work for and all of those kind of things. There is no law that says that certain people can sponsor you. But what you need to show is, what's the relationship? If your uncle is sponsoring you, has he sponsored you before? Or just this time around, the guy just woke up and say, oh, I'm feeling nice today. Let me sponsor you. Let me pay $20,000 for you. I like, they know Nigerians that, lies plenty. Nigerians can lie. Everybody becomes their uncle. You need to prove that relationship. How is this person really your uncle? Is this person really your uncle? So you have hurdles to cross. You need to show that that relationship. Then you need to show prior, prior instances where this person has been responsible for you in terms of sponsorship. So it's easier if it's your parent. I mean, your parent is your parent. They raised you. So if your parent is your sponsor, beautiful. If your spouse is your sponsor, beautiful. By the time you now start to use some other individuals, then your documentation needs to be very tight for you to show that, yes, we have a relationship. Yes, this is legit. It's not an arranged thing. This person is actually, the money will be available for me to use. If you say it's your company that is sponsoring you, mind you, they know that most of the time, if it is not a government establishment, why would this private entity want to sponsor you when they know you are not coming back? So if that is true, then you will really need to prove it. So why is this company sponsoring you? What's the need for them? Why should they spend $40,000 on your master's program? With this organization, where are their books? How much do they even, how big, what amount of money do they have that they will just say, we are spending this amount of money on you? So as long as you can prove it, then you are good. So it's the onus is on you to use proper documentation to clear the doubt in the officer's mind. As long as you bring in your strong documents, it's your document that will speak for you. Remember, there is no interview. Canada do not do interview for visiting visa or study permit or work permit. They won't call you to say, okay, come and defend yourself. So it's the papers, the documents you are submitting that will speak on your behalf. So make sure it's really solid. What I have here as GIC is something I recommend to my own students. Like, GIC is an investment certificate. You open an account in Canada, send your upkeep money up front. That also shows this visa officer that you are coming to school, because the money and the bank, when you come, they are not going to give you the money at once. They are going to be giving you monthly. It's for your upkeep. So you have really shown financial commitment that I am a legit student and I have my funds. Okay, so you need passport photographs, you need proof of economic ties, a letter of explanation. So this letter of explanation is important. So it is also called statement of purpose, letter of intent, and whatever like that. In that letter, what you want to show is your background, your education, your career, your goals, your long-term ambition, how this course you are studying, how it fits into your life. And it must make sense. Why are you choosing Canada? You want to do early childhood education. Why are you not doing it in your country? Why do you want to spend $20,000 for that? You need to say it. Why? Why I am willing to pay this much? What's the reason? How will this program cost? How can you justify it? So that comes in you saying what you want to use this course to do back home. So probably if you get this MBA, you are going to be able to vie for some managerial positions in your organization. Or if you do this diploma in entrepreneuring, it's going to help you expand your business because you are going to have more skills to be able to scale up. If you are doing this logistics, international business and logistics program, is because you want to start to maybe distribute your goods. You are into production and you want to be able to handle the distribution network to, cut across other parts of Nigeria and then even distributing outside of the country. Those kind of things. Those are what you are going to put there. That this course, what will it help me to do? Unfortunately, students, I have met some very, very lazy ones. Even if I am the one that is, doing that have power to give the visa, I would not even give them because they don't even want to think at all. So how is it that you want to come and do a master's program and somebody is telling you to go and write your statement of purpose and you say, me, I cannot write that, or can you not write it for me? I say, hello, why should I be the one writing it for you? So if somebody is coming to study psychology, I will write for them. Somebody is coming to study international business and logistics, I will write for them. You want to study history, I will write for you. Like, seriously? You don't know this course, this field where you are in, you don't know what you can use this course to do. So if you are that lazy and you don't even want to commit intellectually to the thing, and you are coming for a master's program, and the visa officer even read your application, and the thing is not even making sense, why would they give you visa? So that's why you should put your best foot forward. Don't be lazy, and don't just be saying, go and do it for me. As a consultant, I can do your application, but there are some things that, the content must come from, it must come from you. You cannot just dump everything on my head and say, go and do it because you are lazy. So don't be lazy. Do your best in packing a solid, putting forward a very solid application. So I've explained this. If your source of funding is from somebody else apart from your spouse or your parents, you need to show that this money will actually be available for me when I need it. So because your uncle has 100 million naira in his account and gave you the bank statement, does not show that it doesn't show that 100 million naira will be made available to you when you need it. So showing that, proving that is what that visa officer wants to see. Yeah, so there is this bit about having travel history. Whether you have travel history or you don't have travel history, it does not affect your study permit application. However, if you have travel history, you can highlight it in your application and say, oh, I once traveled to the UK in 2015 and I came back to my country. That shows that, yeah, you did not stay back illegally in that country. But if you don't have a travel history, so don't say, oh, I hear people who say, I need to disvirgin my passport. Please, no, you don't need that. You don't have to have a previous visa on your passport to increase your chance of getting a study permit to Canada. No, you don't have to go and be wasting money and say, let me go to Kenya or let me go to, I mean, you don't need all of that. Ties back home, I've said that. Then your post-graduation plan. So those are the things you put in your letter of explanation or your statement of purpose. So a few updates. Just yesterday, our immigration minister announced that, I mean, Canada has always been very committed to family reunification. So unlike the UK, that brought out this information that, okay, starting from January of 2024, the UK will no longer be allowing dependents to come with the student unless it's for certain programs like PhD and co. In Canada, family reunification is very big for us. When you enter Canada, the goal of the country is to make sure that your family is reunited with you. That's why they have parent sponsorship, grandparent sponsorship, not to now talk about spousal sponsorship. Just one person, let one person just enter Canada. You are sure that you will be able to bring in your spouse, your parents, and the like. So to solidify this Canadian position in terms of immigration, that families are supposed to stay together, they are making it trying to make it easier for people to come in to meet their family member while they are waiting for PR application. So PR application is permanent residency application. So let's say someone already submitted an application and the person doesn't have to wait that, oh, I'm waiting, let my PR come out so that I can now bring in my spouse or so that I can bring in my children. You don't have to wait. Then they are working on making the processing time faster for spousal applicants and people that need to bring in their spouse. Now they're also making it easier for the spouse of the student to be able to get work permits easily and faster. So their own goal is to make sure that your family member is not stranded outside. So hardly would you hear that somebody went into Canada as a student or as a worker, and then the family can't join, and then that they've been waiting for years, and they say, the person cannot enter. Oh, no, that's not Canada. Once one person goes in, you are sure that the other, the immediate family, they will follow suit. So don't be afraid of going through the student route, even if you, the student, will have to be the one to go in first. Your family members cannot be stranded. So what do we do? Like I said, EduThrive, we help students to get admission and support their visa application to any country they want to go to. We have partner schools in India. We have in Turkey. We have in France. We have in Germany, in the UK, in the US, in Canada. So EduThrive will help you. Any school, any country, you say, I want to go to China, we have partner school there. That's your goal. That's what EduThrive will help you with, to help you go to school in any country. However, as me, that I am speaking to you now, I can help you in terms of any immigration pathway to Canada because I am a licensed immigration consultant. So I can help you with that. So if you want to book a consultation with me to ask your immigration related questions, Then a link. Alima, have you put in the link there? So there is a link in the chat that you can use to book that consultation with me. But if your question is related to study abroad generally, then my staffs, you don't need to speak with me as regards that. My staffs, they will be able to answer all your study abroad questions. But if it is visa related or immigration related, then you want to speak with me directly. So what I can also help you with is that I can help you review your application. And when I say I want to help you review it, I'm not going to do the application for you. You are going to fill your forms. You are going to write your study plan. You are going to basically do everything. What you want me to do is to look through what you've done and then tell you, oh, maybe you need to change this. Why don't you phrase this way? Why don't you attach this? Just to review. I would stay with you on a call. I will see your doc. You will send it to me ahead. We'll look at it, and then I will sit with you in a call where I will tell you my observations and what you need to do to strengthen the application. Then I can take on the full job, and you pay me and say, go and do my application for me. I will do that. Now, I strongly recommend that if you have had prior refusals, it doesn't pay you to be the one doing it again by yourself. You have done it once or twice. They bounced you. Wisdom is profitable to direct. Don't say, I will do it again. Like someone talked to me and said, when I submitted the application, I used my uncle's bank statement. Now that I know that it's better for me to use my mom's, so I want to go and use my mom's bank statement. I'm like, okay. I mean, that sounds like a good plan, but would that really guarantee your success? Because you do not know all the things the visa officer saw and why that application was not approved. So the rule of thumb is that if you have gotten a refusal before, don't just jump ahead and say, and I will submit it again, and then go and submit again. It doesn't pay you. Go and apply for the GCMS note. The GCMS note is what will show you more details about what the visa officer wrote down on your file. And the person can say something like, I am not convinced this person is a student because the person has this much study gap, and then this person says he wants to go and do a college diploma or something. I mean, that will not be on the form, on the letter that was sent to you. They will just, say those things on your file. So it's good for you to get that and see exactly why did they refuse you, so that when you want to put in a new application, you will be addressing your previous refusal. And if you can, make sure you get a professional to do it for you, instead of piling up refusals after refusal. Some people have had 3 refusals, yet they are still doing it by themselves. I don't know what you want to prove, but if I were you, I won't be wasting my time. Get a professional to do it for you. If you have complicated case, and they bounced you, suspended you, banned you in the UK some years back, and then you want to come to Canada, or you have a criminal record, you have a DUI in the US, some time ago. All of those things can affect your study permit application. You have a canceled visa from another country. You were prevented entry because something happened, all of those things. So if you are that person that has some baggage, it's just beneficial for you to seek professional help. Don't just say, my cousin did it himself. Is it not just to fill form? Is it not just to fill form? Okay. If it is to fill form, then half of the people that want to, all the people that want to come into Canada, they would have come now. So it is not just to fill form. There is a way to do it. So we can help you with that. So there is what is also called judicial review. That is if you believe you have a case and somebody said the volume is really low. I'm just saying that. Is that true? Hello?
No, we can hear you clearly. We can hear you very clearly. It's not low.
It's not low. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so if you have been refused and you believe that you have a strong case, it can be taken up by a lawyer. We can challenge IRCC on your behalf. And then sometimes we do get it done where IRCC will say, oh, okay, let's review the application. Okay, this officer made an error in judgment based on the reason given for refusal and all of that. So that is what we can do for you. So let me see the questions. How best do you reapply after refusal based on lump sum amount and the account statement detected? Yes, so I think I already did this. So if you, how do you reapply? If you are sure that the only reason is that a lump sum was paid and which you couldn't really explain, then in your next application, you want to make sure that the bank statement you are using, you avoid that kind of lump sum that you can't explain. So if you want to print your 4 months bank statement, so this is end of May, and you plan to submit your application tomorrow, and you printed 4 months bank statement, that means you have February, March, April, May. In that statement, your opening balance cannot be 100,000. Then all of a sudden, 10 million naira was just paid into the accounts. You are going to explain. So how, why, where, how did you come about it? Did you sell a property? If you sold a piece of land, that's an explanation. I sold my land that was gifted to me by my mom, and this is the proof. I sold the land. That's where the money came from. So they are not adverse to you having lump sum payment. You just need to be able to explain it, because lump sum payment kind of suggests that the money is not yours, you went to borrow it. So you want to prove that the money is mine. And it could be a gift. Somebody can gift you money. So explain it. So if you want to do the application again, make sure the bank statement is good, and any payment into that account that looks suspicious, have paper document to prove. So don't just explain. Don't just say, yes, it's an inheritance. Where is the proof? Remember, you're not there to explain. So you need paper trails, like documents, to show whatever point you want to prove. Please, can a bank loan be used as proof of funds? That is not expected because they want the money to be yours. That's just it. So if it is a loan, and let's say your parents took a loan for you, that's a different thing because your parents are the ones paying. It's not, the loan is not your head. So they have taken a loan, they have given it to you. But if I get your question right, it's not the one that banks in Nigeria give to you, that the money is not yours. You know, they just use it to dress your account so that your account can look good. That one, the visa officers, they have Nigerians working there. They also see what you people post on social media, how you advertise, get your proof of funds for 5% per month. They see all of those things. So they know that if you package and put the money there, that the money may not be available for your use. So how do I answer that question? Can a bank loan be used as proof of funds? It depends. Is employer letter a mandatory submission? Yeah, it's not mandatory, but it's good for you. It helps to show that you have a job. So if you are working in ABC company and you show that I came into the employment of this organization 3 years ago, these are my pay stubs. So it shows that you are gainfully employed and then you are traveling abroad. So even if they are not going to say when you come back, your job is waiting for you, it just kind of show your current status that you have something good going on for you at the moment. So having that can be an advantage. Alima, please drop the link where they can book a consultation with me. What pathway to Canada do you have for family of 3? These people are currently in the UK. So for people that are currently in the UK, you went as a student and your plan is to come into Canada. A few options you have. You can calm down, settle down, finish paying the debt you incurred by going to school there, have a job, and then trying the permanent resident pathways that you may qualify for. Express entry is still there. Provincial nomination is still there. So try and explore that option, all those type of options. Otherwise, look for an employer in Canada. That's something you can consider doing. Then, if you have money, you can come to school. So from the UK, because you're already in the UK, it doesn't kind of like give you one very extra advantage that you can now easily just come into Canada. I mean, people that went to the UK thought that that's what is going to happen. No, it's not going to happen because you live in the UK. You will still have to go through what every other person, the pathways that every other person is going through. But the good thing is that at least in the UK, you are living in a sane environment. So calm down there and, you know, just start to explore all these options available in Canada. Don't stress yourself too much by saying, oh, I have to get out, I have to get out, I have to get out, because I wish I can just open the door for you to come in. It's not that easy. So express entry is an option. Provincial nomination is an option. The work permit route is an option. Then school is an option. So those are your options. What's next question now? Can Empower financing be used? Yes, you can use Empower financing. For Empower financing, make sure you also can show that you have enough money to pay your living expense. So Empower, the loan only covers your tuition. So what about living expense? In Canada, you need an average of $10,000 per year as living expense. So you must be able to show that in your account and also show your travel costs. Maybe travel tickets from Nigeria to Canada is like maybe 800,000 naira. You should have that. You should be able to show that you can afford it if you are using Empower. Can I use my office bank statement as sponsor? I believe I have addressed this. You need to convince the visa officer why your office is sponsoring you. If it is a one-man company, then it makes it very, very less believable. Very less believable, because that's your company. I mean, like, why should they spend $30,000 on you? Why? What is it that is so special about you that they are willing to dash you $30,000 to say they are sponsoring you? If you can prove it, if you can justify why, then why not? But the visa officer is not just going to fall for that if you don't have a solid proof. How many months bank statement do I need? 4 months is okay. I am a salary earner, but my office doesn't have pay slip. How do I get pay slip? Tell your HR to print something for you now. They should be able to print something for you, or where your salary goes into. So your bank account, your salary is paid every month. So if you print your bank statement for 4 months, we should be able to see the lodgement of your salary into it. How can a friend abroad, say US, willing to sponsor my family, package the POF for visa purpose? So a friend is willing to sponsor you. Why is that friend sponsoring you? See, anybody can sponsor you. You, as an individual, need to show that this, my friend, I have history of this person sponsoring me before, because this person is not a Father Christmas that just wants to dash out money. Why has he chosen to sponsor me? Why? Give me a strong reason that I will believe you, that indeed this person will make the money available. So if the person really wants to sponsor you, let the person release the money. They have given you offer. Tuition is $10,000. School say pay $10,000. Let this person bring the $10,000 now and pay it. Okay, I have the option of moving my upkeep money abroad. Let this person bring the money now. Shebi is my sponsor. What does sponsor mean? Does sponsor just mean take my bank statement that I have 100 million naira inside it and just use it to show the visa officer that there is a rich person in your family? Is that what sponsor mean? A sponsor is the person that is financially responsible for footing your education bill in this context. So if this person is indeed a sponsor, let the money flow out from this sponsor's pocket into my own pocket or into the school's pocket. So the sponsor gives you, the student, the money, or the sponsor sends the money to the school to pay your tuition, or the sponsor gives you this money and say, put it in a Canadian account in your name for your upkeep. That is actually what it means that this person is sponsoring you, not just presenting paper to show the visa officer that I have money and I am a friend of this person. I think I have a few more questions. Can we explore study route and express entry at the same time? Yes, you can. So if you have your profile already in the express entry pool, fine, you can do study as well. The if you have a UIC number, it's the same. We just put the number on your application, so they know you, they know it is you, so you are not hiding and you're not pretending that, hey, I'm not doing this, so they can see, and there is no law that forbids that. I am a contract staff with my boss. Sorry, I am a contract staff. The contract with my boss would most likely end. The company is small business and does not give payslip. Will a reference letter alone be okay? So you should have a letter of employment. So your letter of employment is good. The reference letter is good. Your bank statement is good. So you can add all of that. Can pension account be added as proof of funds? Pension account, the money is not readily available. So your pension account, you can't draw it. You cannot just go to the pension where the money is and say, hello, people, give me 5 million. So pension account, no, because it is not money that is available for spending. So let's put it that way. Yeah, so if we do not have any more questions, I will be calling it a day. So any more questions? Thank you for joining me today. I'm just coming in. Can the same process work for US? I really don't know what that question is. Do I need to have the total money in my account? Hey, sorry. Where is this question now? Do I need the total money? Is it better for my wife to go first or me as the husband? As a student, I don't know. It depends on your family dynamic. So if you have young kids, so you have 6-year-old, you have 2-year-old, and you say your wife should come, will your wife, leaving the 2-year-old and the 6-year-old behind, will that be ideal? Will you be able to cope? Do you have arrangement for that? If that is, so there are so many things that you guys have to consider, and I don't know your family dynamics. So I can't say it's always good for the husband to come or it's always good for the wife to come. It depends on your family. Whoever comes, the spouse will be able to work. So it depends on what the home front is looking like. Do I need to have the total money for 2 years? Okay, so if you are coming for a 2-year program and you have paid 1 semester, you know that you have 3 more semesters to be paid. Do you need to have all the money in your account? Not really, no. But you need to show that the money will be available. So let's say your parent is sponsoring you. Your parents have source of income, they have business or they have salary. We can see that this family, they have this kind of net worth, or they have access to this amount of money coming in monthly. So it's one can see it that the money is not here now, but the money is going to come in the course of time, because this man earns so and so an amount. So if your husband is sponsoring you, your husband shows that I have this job where I am earning this much, and this much will be available to support my wife. So not that all the money must be sitting in your account. If it's sitting there, beautiful, but it is not a showstopper that the money is not there now. You just have to, you have to be able to show, you have to be able to convince this visa officer that the money is gonna come. So I'm just going to answer one more question, no, because can my brother in Canada be a co-sponsor while I show that I have money too in my account? Yes. Your brother can be a co-sponsor. Can I leave a 2-year-old to the father and grandma? Why not? That's your family issue now. If you can, why not? Remember, if you want to bring a 2-year-old along to school, the question is, will you be taking the 2-year-old to class? So you will put the baby in the trolley, Abby, and stroll to class with that baby. So if you can't take the baby to class, who will keep your baby for you in Canada? That daycare. Can you afford it? So if we are saying show proof of funds, you are still saying, can I borrow? Can this person co-sponsor? Can this person be my, then you want to add the daycare fees to it. So think about all of that before you choose who is ideal to come first, whether the husband or the wife. Supposing I want to study for 20 months, do I need to have the total living expense for 2 years in my account? I have answered that you don't have to, but you need to show that the money is going to be available. Can HND apply for 2-year course instead of 4-year degree? With an HND, yes, you can do even an 8-month diploma, postgraduate diploma. You can draw, yes, thank you for that. You can draw 25% of pension from your savings, then draw it for your pension. So draw the 25% out and drop it as your proof of funds, not just coming to show that I have pension savings, which will be easier after I've submitted my application. Should my funds remain in the account? Yes, now, if the fund is not remaining there, where are you taking it to? It's not your money. Okay, so thank you so much. Immigration related questions, you need to book a consultation. Sit down with me. Let me help you explain, explore your options. If it is anything study abroad, check the chat. Our office address is there. The phone number you can call is there. My staff will attend to you. So thank you so much. Last question. I hear that once you are above 40, getting visa with your children is difficult. I don't know what you mean by that. There is no age discrimination on whether they are not going to discriminate you because you are over 40 or whatever. So if you want to put your children, that is they are looking at many things, your financial capacity and all. It definitely cannot be your age. So thank you for coming out to hang out with me today. I hope you have gained a thing or two that will help you be able to put together a solid application for your study permit. So I wish you all the very best. And I am here, myself and my team, to help you actualize your dream. Remember, Canada is not closing doors to dependents. Canada is wide open to you if you are going to do the work and you are going to do it right. So I remain Bose Faweyimi. Today, I'm wearing the hat of an RCIC. You know, I do other things as well. So thank you, and I will be seeing you. Somebody said the link is not working. Alima, did you check the link? They said it's not working. So please drop your number. Alima, drop the office number, drop all the way they can contact us so I can speak to them. So I will just stay on this call like another 2 minutes so that people can go through the chat so they can get all the information they need. So thank you. God bless you. You can start to sign out while I stay back just to allow people scroll through the chat and pick the information, our contact details. So thanks and God bless.